The Nexus 5X really has me torn. I'm not sure if this is a device I should love or hate. On one hand, it has some noteworthy next-gen Android features, and on the other hand, it makes sacrifices in places I don't really care for. Let's take a look at the display, for instance. It's a 5.2-inch screen, 1920 by 1080 resolution, 423 pixels per inch, which is not bad, right? I mean, it's what you'd expect from a device in this price range. If I had to describe the display quality in 2 words, however, well, it would be washed out. And the viewing angles actually aren't bad. It's the way the backlight hits your face and the lack of vibrancy anywhere that just makes it very unappealing. I know it's a budget phone and they have to make sacrifices somewhere, but the display is such a huge part of the experience that skimping here just doesn't seem like the right choice. Even going back to phones like the OnePlus One, it had a much more appealing display despite its low cost. So yeah, probably my least favorite part about the 5X, but let's talk about the build quality. It's a pretty light device. It also features this polycarbonate back, which just feels sort of like a soft plastic. It seems to hide fingerprints and wear and tear pretty well, so I could see it being quite a while before your device starts to show signs of aging, which is actually a good thing if you're on a budget. I would have liked to have seen maybe some type of faux premium material on the back of the device. I think that would have really helped with the perception of quality because as is, it really looks and feels like a budget device, and I know that's going to be a turnoff for some people. I think the folks over at Google and LG must be car guys because they seem to have put all of their money under the hood. The 5X in a nutshell is basically a budget performance vehicle. You spend all of your money on the engine or drivetrain, but then you throw in a plastic interior and roll up windows, and that's pretty much what you have here. You get a Snapdragon 808 processor, which is one of the top Qualcomm CPUs available right now. It's even found in some current flagship devices. You get 2 gigs of RAM, 16 or 32 gigabytes of storage, which is not expandable, which is actually unfortunate being that this is a budget phone, but that's about norm for Nexus devices. The 5X also ships an Android 6.0 Marshmallow, which is awesome because it brings a host of new security features and battery optimizations. It runs pretty well on this device too. I would say there's a little noticeable difference in responsiveness between this and the 6P, but it's likely due to the extra gig of RAM on the big brother. Both phones do run well though from a performance standpoint. On top of that, you get what I'd call next-gen Android features, which includes a fingerprint sensor, also known as Nexus Imprint, that allows you to unlock your phone with your fingerprint or pay for items via Android Pay when paired with NFC. You also get a USB Type-C connector, which supports fast charging, so you no longer need to leave your phone on the charger overnight. And speaking of battery life, the 5X has a 2700 mAh battery, and I averaged just over 3 hours of battery life with the display at 100% brightness, which I would actually consider decent for a phone in this price range. However, there is some stiff competition in this area from phones like the OnePlus 2, so yeah, not class leading, but it'll definitely get you through the day. On a more positive note, the 5X features the same rear-facing camera found in the 6P, minus just a couple of features. So you'll still get fast autofocus, solid overall photos with no over sharpening, and photos still look good in low light, although you'll probably want to enable HDR mode in those situations. There is no burst mode with the 5X however, so no holding down the shutter button and allowing the camera to take back-to-back-to-back photos. On the video side, the 240 FPS slow motion mode is gone, but you can still shoot up to 4K at 30 FPS or up to 720p at 120 FPS. I imagine those features missing won't be huge for most people, so you're basically left with a flagship camera and a budget device, and can't really complain there. So with all of that said, let's just go ahead and wrap this up. Is the 5X worth the buy or not? Well, Google has done a good job of packing in the performance where it matters, as well as giving us features that no other devices in this price range have. But just can't quite get over the fact that the 5X still looks and feels like a budget device. Even if that's what it's supposed to be, at least make an effort to convince me otherwise, or maybe that I'm getting some type of bargain with this phone. In this case, it fails to do so, which means I'd have to give a long hard look at the Moto X Pure or the OnePlus 2 before making a final decision. So that's about it, guys. I'm Jerry Neutron. Be sure to leave a like below if you found this video helpful or entertaining. Also, let me know what you think about the 5X down in the comments below. Subscribe if you haven't already, and until next time, see ya.